7 o'clock, I call this meeting to order. Would you all join me in the pledge of allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please show all board members present. Acceptance of our June 19th minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the minutes of our June 19th meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Oh,
Well, 660 at, 660 is probably not, it's probably.
We fixed it, it was
like
6:30.
6:30, okay.
Good catch. As amended.
okay, motion been made and seconded. You want to amend that?
Yeah,
As amended.
yeah, as amended.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the minutes as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0. Acceptance of agendas. Any changes in the agenda, James?
We have no 11th hour, and we have no need for executive session, so 11, 17, and 18 can be scratched.
Do I hear a motion on the agenda?
Make a motion to accept the agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept the agenda as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Open to public. None? Move on. Now take a motion to go from our regular agenda to a public hearing for liquor license for the Lobster Rail Restaurant.
So moved.
Linda and Mark.
Motion made and seconded to go from our regular agenda to a public hearing on a liquor license for the Lobster Rail Restaurant. Any discussion? All those in favor? Now in public hearing, James, what do we have?
We have a new business proposed in town, moving into Main Street where
Cook's Crossing.
I don't want to go 237 East Main Street. Massimo is here to talk to you about his plan and the fact that from my indications and my research, there's no previous violations or complaints about his he's been in the restaurant business for a long time, and he runs a very good establishment with no complaints. So the application is here, and I told him he didn't have to be here because we're a pretty easygoing group, but it's a good chance for him to get out and let you know what's happening, and we are recorded, so we will play this on TV, so it's a little free commercial on public access.
Well, I want to introduce myself. So my name is Massimo Rani. I've been in the US for 20 years. I opened 4 businesses down in Bangor. I opened 1 down in Brewer. I'm a master baker and a chef, so that's what I do. And we're really serious about our business. So we never had a violation. We take seriously very alcohol, what is alcohol, very serious. What we go to serve down there would be only beer and wine. There will be no hard liquors. So that's what we're gonna do. Just because we ask people, they say, you know, a nice beer sometime cold in the summer is good, because otherwise we were going without. That's what we're going to do. But if I may show you some of the project that we have done there. I'm approaching you so I can show to you. So this is basically what we have in project, and just the idea before will be finished. So we will have a deck in the back, 1 deck in the front. I just pass this around so you can share some of the pictures here. But so we're gonna do something very nice down there. It's a beautiful spot. Every time I drive, I love it. So that's what we're gonna do. And the interior will be something similar to a train. We try to find the right materials to do in the same way. So we will have seats inside, seats outside, but will be self-service. So the people will pick up the food, go to sit down, and, enjoy it. So I have a great relationship with the with the inspector and the legal inspector. They already came to supervise the location, and we can serve alcohol just within the fence that we have there, so that's what we're gonna do. And our operation will be probably, we will study what's going on in the traffic there, but I don't think people will come before 11 o'clock for lunch. So kind of think around 10 o'clock we start to prep all the stuff. By 9 o'clock in the night latest will be done. So
Yeah.
I think probably we stop around 8 o'clock. I met our,
Most of them, they shut down.
yeah, probably earlier too. Will be seasonal, so we try to do something from May to October.
Mhm.
That's what we try to do. I already met the neighbors. Mrs. Russell came over to introduce herself. So you know, we come in the community to make something good. We don't come here to make noise or something like that. So, but this is basically the idea we want to do down there, and that's what we're working on already. Projection, hopefully by the middle of August, we'll be ready to rock. So, thank you.
And I believe he's still in the process with the planning board, but he's lining his ducks up as he should and going for our permit now.
Mhm. So I'm working in the inspector Randy Hall. That's what we're gonna do there, and he's giving me all the right way to do it. So.
Anyone have any questions?
So are you gonna have music on?
No,
No,
music.
and no entertainment?
No entertainment. Yeah, we don't like that. I mean, it's not we don't like that, it's a totally different kind of concept. You know, I like people to come to enjoy, probably bring kids down there, so, you know, it's different. When it's music start to be like drinking and stuff like that, it's now, so we try to make a nice place there.
So I'm assuming you're gonna employ some locals?
Of course. All my
How
employees,
many?
they're all local. Actually, most of my employees to start, I'm going to close down my restaurant, it's Massimo Cucina Italiana down in Bangor. So when we open this one, I'm going to shut down that for the summer. So I bring my people, all the guys are from Maine, they're down there. And probably I need to put an ad here to find more people around here too. So if I find locals, I really want to. Probably we need another half dozen of people to work for us. So I'm a baker as well. I'm a master baker. I would love to open a bakery in the train station at one point, but not this year. It's a little too tight. I'm the only one who wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning. Nobody. Matteo now is studying culinary arts in Italy, so he's finishing. He's going to school there for 1 more year, and then he's done with school. He will move down here. So he's already a highest level in school as a chef. So he's pretty good. But local, I want to find everybody from around here. Actually, I'm already calling plumbers, everybody, and they don't show up, but I'm calling them, so.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions or comments?
Impressive.
Power on?
Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you.
Nick, you-
No, I'm all set.
Okay, at this time, I'll take a motion then to go from public hearing to back to our regular agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, seconded to go from public hearing back to our regular agenda. Any discussion? Okay, none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Item 8, any decision from public hearing? Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the liquor license for that facility.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded to approve the liquor license for us. Any discussion? All those in favor? 5-0.
I didn't mark out the
Thank you.
signature page, but there's a signature page on about the 4th or 5th line back. He needs that.
Yeah.
It-
Almost to the end.
This- I don't
That's
see
it, I think you might be on it. Yeah, room for,
municipal officers.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's it.
Yeah.
okay.
And I didn't dress for you guys, I'm in a show next door.
I know, I just saw that. I saw that. I say, you know.
Good.
You have a full house next door too. I thought everybody was here.
Yeah, they were, I could barely get down the steps, there was so many people going up.
I saw everybody dressed up. I said, oh, I said, they're coming only in the earrings here. I said, what's going on?
Well, best of luck on your,
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. We will do honor here. We don't do, I've been in the New York Times twice. Everything we do is by the book. We don't play around, so. Alcohol doesn't buy us. So people, you know, if they, no is no. They know me. If I say no, is no.
We need to take the copies of this, but if you want to come down and pick it up to Thursday.
I will be around anyway, so we'll be fine.
Excellent, excellent.
We all done here?
Yeah,
Very good.
plan-
Happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day.
Plan
And,
something for, your grand opening and come, you know,
yeah, we'll do a ribbon cutting.
call to, you know, and get involved in Harbor, which is the local business association.
Oh yeah, that would be great. I'm already working with Dean,
Yeah.
so he does all the business development. I worked with him previously too in Hamden when he was working there, so he knows me already. But thank you very much. Thank you. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you, Senora. Bye. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Have a great night. Thanks a lot. Thank you. See you Monday night. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Monday night I have another one. That's right. See you next evening.
Okay, and old business, library front step project.
We have, we've approved to move forward on the front step project. The architects had given us an estimate of what they felt it would cost to do this project. We searched pretty hard to find a stone company that would be able to handle the job. It's not a, you guys know, they're big granite blocks, and it's not something you can just hire anyone that thinks they can do masonry. Apparently the architect had his estimates on what the job entailed was a little bit light on cost. We are about $14,000 short. I am in conversations with through the librarian to see if there's any way that the trustees maybe could assist us, at least so we could get the job done. Something we could backfill when we go to town meeting. But we're really tapping it out. They've got $20,000 in grant. We have about a little over $20,000 in our reserve account. We were hoping to be under 40, but the job is about $14,000 more. I really pitch it as, what do we want to do? We could take money, at least expend money from the building fund. It's not the library fund, but it's the building fund in a general sense. And then replace that money at town, ask the voters to replace that money at town meeting. That's the only thing I can think to do to get this job done this year. I desperately think we need to do this job this year because,
We don't want weather getting any
well,
better.
the steps are pretty bad right now, and the company Knox Masonry came over and looked and said, "Are you still using them?" I said, yeah, and he did a pretty thorough inspection. His recommendation was not to let it go very much longer. He didn't recommend shutting down. They seem to be they're solid and stable, but they're crooked. So people have. I spoke to Katie earlier this week, and you know, people have been losing their footing on it, and that's the part we don't like. So
And I think there's a good difference in height there too.
there's a difference in
One's
height
about an
because
inch and a half probably.
they're tilted backwards.
Yeah.
So I guess my recommendation is, I'm asking for authorization to move forward, whether that be with the board or with the general building reserve account. The other project that I have on tap is the roof project for next door. That also has come in much above the anticipated or expected cost. And I did put in and was successful in getting in by the 22nd of last month a grant to the Historic Preservation Commission to see if they would help us with that. If that comes through, we're going to be all set. We'll have a surplus of money, and we wouldn't need to backfill anything at town meeting. But I think in the list of priorities, that step project probably even comes before the roof. To the best of my knowledge, the roof is not leaking. I think I have a little bit of a leak maybe around the vent pipe but that may not even be related to shingles, so I don't really want to, I've been told not to climb up there myself, so I guarantee you I'm not going to do it. But I don't think that's as emergent as doing these steps. We have to get these steps done as soon as we can.
Yeah, that's a safety issue.
Yeah.
So I look for authorization to move forward either in partnership with the committee or worst case scenario, taking that money out of the general building fund to get this project going. And the good thing is the company is able to do it right away.
Yeah,
Get right on
they're
it.
set up here, not too far away, right?
Yeah, they're actually doing the Buck Library over
Right.
in Bucksport, and they've been really engaged for many years working on Fort Knox.
Right.
So, and they do have some extra time and extra hands. I have contacted a couple of other companies, and there's really no one prepared to do this. We are going to offset the cost by helping them. I've offered our equipment, our backhoe and bobcat and things to help do it. And they know, in his quote to me, and I have it on my phone actually, he's kind of taking that into account. There could be some variables that save us some money, and we're hoping to be in well under bid, but it's where we're at.
You've heard the town manager's recommendation, what's your wish?
Make a motion, we authorize the town manager to spend up to $14,000 out of the general building fund to fix the Carver Memorial front steps.
Second?
Motion been made, seconded to authorize the town manager to expend up to $14,000 from the general building fund, Carver steps. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, well, number 10, we'll spend a little more money.
Yeah,
Let's say gravel screen.
We have an opportunity to buy a gravel screen from Dolores Kinney. She's selling some equipment from Kinney's Construction, which they're not going to run any longer. The screen that we're looking at, we've actually rented many times. They purchased it for the company, but we used it probably as much as they did. They're offering it up to us at $20,000, which is about half of its value right now. We currently have $73,442 in the Public Works Equipment Reserve account, and Bob is 100% in favor of this moving forward ahead of some of the other things we want to do. Like, we have a couple of beds for our plow trucks, our sander trucks. We really need to replace those too, but we want to put this ahead of that because this is something we're not going to be able to replace, and we do use it. In fact, we just screened out a bunch of loam that we've used on projects all around town. So
What, that get adjustable screens?
it's all, yeah, it's a
So
mechanical.
you can,
Yep.
yeah. What's your wish? That was 20,000?
Yeah.
I've talked to Bob briefly too about this here. I'll make a motion, we can go ahead and make the purchase.
I'll second that motion.
From reserve account.
Yeah.
Motion made and seconded to expend $20,000 to purchase gravel screen from Kenny's Construction. Any discussion?
There's no, we're getting clear title, right?
Yes.
No problems.
Yeah, they're definitely moving away from it. So
Okay.
Any other discussion, question? All those in favor? We've got a screen. Mutual aid agreement with Waldo County EMS.
yeah, our mutual aid agreement for the county is expiring, and it's time to renew it. I spoke with Adrian just this afternoon about it. He's reviewed it and definitely approves moving forward. It's much like our fire department mutual aid. It names out the services within the county, and if called upon, we will go and help wherever we need to. And this kind of helps us with liability it gives us some preconditions so that everyone knows we're on the same page.
So this is something we can put off to our next meeting, we get a chance to read this.
Sure, if you'd like, I put a copy in your,
Yeah.
packets, so if you wanna table it, that's fine. There's not an immediate, time, issue here.
Make a motion, we table the Waldo County EMS mutual aid agreement to next meeting.
Second.
Motion made, and seconded, to table Waldo County EMS agreement until our next meeting, which will be on third Tuesday. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Somebody's getting the phone.
He liked it.
Searsport Awards banquet discussion.
Yeah, we do, this has come up a couple times, Doug just brought it to our attention recently. We've had several employees who have been recognized and on the state level. And we always do the Spirit of America Award, and it would be nice if we had a sit-down where we could actually do a presentation, maybe come up with a couple of other. We recently have Marie Underwood getting done at Historic Preservation. She's done a marvelous job for the town over her years of volunteer service, and those are the types of things that we need to bring special attention to. I brainstormed a little bit with actually one of the recipients of an award just recently. Adrian and I were speaking about his award. He was recognized by the state, and that's the type of thing that we could give extra attention to on a local level. I don't know, Doug, if you had any thoughts about the time of year, right?
Well, I'm not wedded to anything other than the heat.
Yeah.
I thought the fall, all right. Actually, even the spring, probably not in the dead of winter.
Well, November comes to mind because it would force us to think about the Spirit of America Award a little bit earlier than we normally do. And it's before Christmas, and we could even do it a little bit before the Thanksgiving holiday so that we didn't. They give the Spirit of America Award from the county out in October. So announcing the next one on its heels is no problem at all if we wanted to make sure that that was triggered at the same time.
This is something I've thought about and wanted to do for a long time. A lot of people over the years have said we have incredible people that donate thousands of hours of their time, and we probably don't thank them enough, and we don't thank them publicly. And it's also a chance for what I had in mind was for maybe up to 3 people a year. It could be 1, it could be 2, to have the selectmen. The award would be the Selectmen's Award, or we'll come up with a name for it. Selectmen would nominate people, and that'd be a real vote. Marie Underwood would come to mind immediately. That is exactly the kind of thing I had in mind. Could also be for employees who retire. I spoke to you about the money part.
Yep.
And I thought we could do it for $1,000. My first thought was contingency fund this year, because we did the budget, and you were going to check and see if that would be okay. And you mentioned
You have a professional fee fund.
professional, right?
And that would cover it if we did it this year, and certainly we can build into it next year to add on if we needed to, but I think we can, anyway, we can get that done.
I spoke to Sandra Otis Anderson about the idea of having nonprofits actually do the food. She thought that was a great idea, and she thought the Congregational Church would be willing, but we ought to spread that around. And not have it necessarily have it at the same place and use the same organization. I'm willing to, and I spoke to Linda, and I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm willing to try to work out the details and do it for this year. November sounds very good to me, actually.
Early November.
Early
November,
Yes.
not into the holidays.
Right.
Before
First week in
holidays.
November.
Yeah, that would be good,
And-
because a lot of people, you know, soon as Thanksgiving holidays roll around, some people are just, they're gone. You know, they head south
Yeah.
or whatever, so, or
And at
you
least-
can't depend on the weather.
At least the first year, you and I could work and bring something concrete
Yep,
back to the board.
sure.
We do have
Do
a
that.
workshop next Thursday, so if we want to, it may not be quick enough time, but that.
But still
we can
keep
go
some
into-
ideas
We can
around.
go into details on that workshop.
Yep, we could do that.
Oh, and present people with plaques.
Yes,
Yep.
definitely.
Any other comments on this item? Okay, we'll talk about that in workshop, and then the workshop will decide when to put on the agenda. Correspondence.
Only a couple of quick items in correspondence. The first being just a general notice from the Employee Health Trust. They're terminating or doing away with the PPO 1000 plan, and there are some other changes coming up for 2019 outlined. And the second is a notice, actually George gave it to me, save the dates for the annual historic preservation workshops, and that's right here. I guess the closest one is the Belfast Free Library. And we've been doing a lot of work. The planning board, Dean, and our historic preservation committee have been trying to bring a lot more attention to the need for historic preservation and trying to point out the funds that could be available if somebody wanted to go through the process. And that's it.
I'll take a motion on treasurer's warrant.
Make a motion that we accept the treasurer's warrants and pending signatures.
Second?
Motion made and seconded to accept the treasurer's warrants upon signature. Any discussion? All those in favor? Your report, James.
Very quick. Public Works says the Church Street sidewalk is scheduled to be paved this week, later in the week. We have prepared the base and the backfill, the backside. We continue to do brush cutting, ditching, and patching last month. The mowing and trimming in cemeteries is going well. No significant news out of wastewater. The Carver Memorial staff, library staff is doing well. I have the bid for the front step work, which you just agreed to. The ambulance responded to 52 calls for service in June. They had 2 interfacility transfers and 2 mutual aid assists to Belfast. We are running 27 calls ahead of this time last year. Both ambulances are running well. The fire department responded to 9 calls for service in June. They issued 72 burn permits for the month. They have no truck or equipment issues to report. In code enforcement, there continues to be a lot of activity with building permits, and Randy's doing a good job. The police department received 258 calls for service during the month of June. The chief returned to work administratively during the last 3 weeks of the month. The chief attended the senior luncheon last month. Reserve officers stepped up and filled in the open shifts during the month. Preparations are being formulated for the 4th of July parade and fireworks show with the recreation director. The 2013 Cruiser was down for 2 days due to a tie rod issue. The vehicle was serviced during the month, and all cruisers are serviced and running well. In economic development, Dean Bennett was very busy in June. He is currently working with the restaurant owner, who we met tonight, who wants to move to Searsport. He also just starting working with a site developer looking for places for potential businesses. In Town Hall, Debbie and Joanne did a great job managing the election process. Our count was very accurate with ranked choice voting. Harriet continues to work closely with the reevaluation team, and she is scheduling hearings for residents who have questions or want to contest their new assessment. In committees, the Comprehensive Plan, the Shellfish Committee, and the Historic Preservation Committee all met in June. That's all.
Have a motion on town manager report?
Motion to accept the town manager's report as presented.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to accept town manager report as presented. Any discussion? All in favor? Selectmen's report. Dick, you have anything?
No. No.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow, all the activities in town, and I think Dave Walsh needs a nice thank you for all the work that he's put into organizing this and his crew, and I think everybody is pretty excited about it. It's gonna be fun.
And I'm looking forward every day.
I'd like to say, I live right up there where they're doing the relaying the water pipes on Main Street, and I want to say that crew that's working, those contractors have done an excellent job. They've done bent over backwards to work with the property owners, and they did everything they could to keep my business open and running, even working a little late one night to make sure both my driveways were open because we had an upcoming auction, so I cannot speak highly enough of those guys.
Doug?
I spoke to James today about the problem on Sears Island Road. I think it's a sinkhole, and I just want people to know that I'm sure it'll be taken care of. And be careful in the meantime. Should we put up a state owns it?
I'll call them first thing in the morning, and the last time I dealt with them, within 3 hours, they were
Right.
repaired.
If they can't, maybe they put up a
Yeah.
barrier.
I will recommend that. I also will be recommending to them some signage. We do have hogweed growing on the edges of the island, and that's very nasty and can burn your skin if you come in contact with its juices. So I did take some pictures of it, and it was reported to me by a resident, and I will be passing that on both to Sears Island, Friends of Sears Island, and to the state. So that's nasty stuff, and it has to be dealt with.
Anything else come forward? Take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?